RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
I just want to say, because I mean, that card was my first live card in 23 months, as I mentioned before. And Manchester, New Hampshire is quite a little city. I mean, it's an actual city. It's not like a hick city or anything like that. Like, although, driving there was kind of a pain in the butt because the highways aren't really lit like that during the day. I mean, it's dark during the day and pitch black during the fucking night. Shit. Some 2 cars got into a fucking accident behind me because they didn't see the flares on the road from someone's car who broke down. And, one slammed into the embankment on the left of me, the other one slammed into the car. That was some shit to actually witness at fucking 1 something in the morning. Going there though, but the arena shit though, like it's a really nice arena. I mean, it's on Southern New Hampshire's arena, the campus. So shit was nice though. I love going there, and although I didn't, I had to go pick up my credential. I had to go up and down and through like this tented entrance to go to the loading dock where I had to pick up my credential, and I rubbed my temples on that too because it was like, what the fuck. So,
yeah, matchroom and these damn weird ass tents and journeys you have to take to get your credentials. Yeah, that shit's annoying as fuck.
But at least once I did, they checked me out. They gave me a nice little wristband that said, media on there. They told me where to go, and I was in the row behind. I was ringside in the second row of seats, behind one of the matchroom ladies. And it was nice to set up. I got to say hello to Alicia Baumgartner, and Mary McGee was there, which I was surprised about. And Mary McGee looked a lot different. I think Matchroom House have a thing is like the ladies must all dress up in like skirts, tight skirts, or heels and shit like that. Like I was like, God damn, like they're dressed to the nines here. Like I'm feeling underdressed. I'm over here in a polo and some jeans and some nice sneakers and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool though. Like everything. I mean, got the meal voucher, and then got to see the fights. It was 8 fights live. The YouTube portion was cool. Had some cool fights. The crowd was I swear, them Irish cats. They was all in there. Like they came in there fucking lit. With the flags all over the place. Like I'm over here thinking, like I was talking to the cat next to me. Like, do you think the Irish cats are gonna start fighting or whatever? They're gonna get to that point. And I'm just like, hey, and they're like, hey, we'll see. But I think it was just a battle between the Irish flags and the Cape Verdean flags there. But then after that one, like I said, the main fights, like on the main card, were good. Like the women's fight was probably the fight of the fucking night for sure. Like for damn sure. Like Callie Reese is one of Andre's like childhood friend, and Jessica Kimura. Yeah, like honestly, I didn't think it was gonna be much of a fight, but goddamn, like for a fight that has no knockouts to her name and the other one 5 knockouts, like there was blood that was shed. Like, it was Reese that was like, who got, by the end of the fight was just standing there squared up and just cocking back old school, pro wrestling right hands on Kimura, and Kimura is like landing these left hooks that are like moving Reese all over the place, and there's blood on the canvas and they're all lumped up. I was like, good goddamn. I stood up and clapped for that shit. The crowd though wasn't fucking with Callie Reese winning the fight though. That's for damn sure. Like they was not feeling her winning that fight. And truthfully, I thought she didn't win that fight either. But
yeah, she lost. Yeah, she lost. That was a robbery, low key.
Yeah, and I felt for Kimura. Like I gave Kimura, like because she walked by with her trainer. Like I gave her a pound. I was like, hey, good job. Reese. Like, and she had these dark glasses on. Like, she was all messed up in the game, and so was Kelly Reese. Like, she was walking around with her 2 belts and two of her peoples or whatever, like lumped up. Like, you could see, like, her face was just like swollen. Like,
we deserved a matchroom draw for that fight.
Yeah, like that one, or Chimera could have won that fight.
I thought Chimera won because it's like she was damn landing counters like repeatedly, like. Yeah. And it was rocking Reese. Like,
yeah, she was doing the way better work, much cleaner work. Like, the harder punches. Like, yeah, she was getting rocked, Reese.
Yeah, Callie was looking like old and just like battered up. Like,
but I do say one thing though. The last turn, I did think Chimera did lose the last turns because I think Chimera was taking. I thought the last round Chimera was probably on the verge of getting stopped because she was taking like flush right hands. Like, Reese was just.
She was. Callie started beating her ass in the last 2 rounds, but before then, you'll be hard pressed to give her 2 rounds. Like,
right.
I still feel it like was like a 96-94 for Kamara.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Callie, you can have a crazy big, final 2 rounds, but if you're not dropping her or doing something where I'm like, okay, this is a 10-8. Yeah,
right.
She kind of skated away with that, like. Yeah,
she did. And I was just like, I will still won't take away from the effort because, like I said, that was a hell of a fight too. Like, and like I say, it's always good fight. It's always good when you see like a women's fight. Like I said, but like women's boxing is in a new era right now, and like the fact you have women now that are willing to put in that type of effort to get you can't do nothing but respect it. The next fight after that with Akhmadaliev and Velasquez, the crowd was quiet, not because they were bored or not interested in it, but I think they were just trying to figure out what was going on in the fight. Because Velasquez looked like he was about to get that first round exit. Like, he let Akhmadaliev cheat on him a little bit too goddamn much for my liking. I'm just thinking to myself, damn, Eddie probably found himself a fucking cherry for this shit. But Velasquez, I think once he took 3 rounds of ass whooping, he decided, like, you know what? Yeah, I took enough punches. Let me start making this nigga's life a little hell. And Akhmadaliev, like, has a chin. Like, dude is super strong though, but dude was taking way too many clean punches. And I'm thinking to myself, that's part of the reason.
Taking some overhand like crazy.
Yeah, I was like, and I'm like, that's part of the reason why they didn't let Roman rematch him.
MJ was getting his shit rocked. Like, he was uncomfortable in there half the time.
Yeah, all that extra moving and shit he was doing, he damn right was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and if Velasquez was taking all that shit and was like, it was hitting him with all types of overhand rights and shit like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this dude's not even ranked. Like, you're supposed to be like the head dude at this weight. Like, you can't be getting rocked like this by that guy.
They damn near running from him.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I never was like completely sold on MJ. I never thought he was that great. And now it's just like more and more I'm feeling like I'm kind of right. Like the top guys in that division would all beat him. Fucking Aleem would knock him out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I know as now he's probably gonna be. He's probably in a position right now where whoever wins between Fulton and Figueroa, which we'll talk about a little later, then yeah, like either of those guys will give that dude absolute hell. But he won the fight. It's not like it's a close. Personally, I didn't think it was. Velasquez only won like 1 round, but he did. Akhmadaliev clearly did win the fight.
Yeah, I think Velasquez got 1 round. You might could give him 2, but there was one clear round where I felt where I think it was round 7 or something where he was really putting heat on MJ, and I think he hurt him to the body and.
Yeah, and then one thing that Akhmadaliev was doing, like, he was towing the line so much with the fouling. Like, I actually thought the referee was gonna the referee didn't dock him no points. I was like, man, is this gonna get DQ straight up? Like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, he deserved the point to be taken away at one point though, because it was too much, and I felt like he was making the ref kind of interview.
Yeah, it was. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, if the ref gonna
Oh, you're cutting out. Yo, you're cutting out.
Who, me?
Yeah, you were cutting out.
Yeah, you cutting out.
Oh no, all I'm saying was I feel like the ref should have took a point because all the times he kept intervening, and it's like, dude, like he's not getting it. Like I don't want it to get to a point where you DQ a guy, but if you gotta keep warning a guy and breaking up the fight, like making him go to other corner, like take a point away at least.
Exactly.
Cause you're just doing extra theatrics.
Yeah, a lot of that was unnecessary, like hella unnecessary.
Well, what wasn't unnecessary though was Velasquez after the fight doing this tumbling shit and push-ups and doing flips and shit. That shit got a reaction though.
He did the failed Teofimo backflip.
Yeah, he almost busted shit on the last flip though.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I'll say this, like I said, at least Velasquez, like it's good to see someone that was actually really brought into lose, but at least made an effort of it. So I can't do nothing but give dudes props. For at least showing up to fight. The co-main though had potential to actually be something, but but then it falls the unfortunate theme of people heads coming together because Julio Cesar Martinez and McWilliams Arroyo, like that first round was a round of the year candidate. Like Martinez got dropped, and then Arroyo got dropped in the last fight, but Arroyo got the worst of it because he was like, if the bell saved him from a possible knockout in that round, and then he went down, I think, in 2 as well. But just as the fight, Martinez though was getting ready to end it because you could see that Martinez's face, he was dialed in, like because Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, you know how that shit goes, like they get a little extra dialed in. And then the heads come together, and then Arroyo's eye, his brow split open. Now, I know there are conflicting stories. Now, the story at the arena was Arroyo quit because Eddie was pissed. Like
Arroyo made a business decision.
Yeah, he said he couldn't see out his eye, and Eddie was just like Eddie. Actually, from where Eddie was sitting, Eddie was just pissed. Like that's why he saw him storming into the ring and shit like that. Like he was heated.
Yeah, he made a tweet. He made a tweet right away about like the bullshit too.
Yeah. I saw that like a little later. I was like, God damn! Like, so I mean, Mick Williams Arroyo. I don't know if he'll be on any future card. Although I think they should run it back because it was a no contest. It didn't go 4 rounds, so they had to do it. So there had to be a no decision. But yeah, Eddie was not happy about how that shit went though, and the fans were booing too. Originally, I thought it was just because of maybe the doctor called the fight, but no, Arroyo was the one. I was like, I couldn't quote unquote see, even though like I said the shit itself though, his brow was split open though. But it was
the refs got to stop giving dudes a way out. Like you either can't see or you can't. Stop trying to push the fight to a no contest.
We all know that he could see, he just couldn't operate effectively with the cut, and so he just looked for a way out, and he found it. Just to, like, okay, well, maybe do it again when I'm, that was, like I said, it was a business decision.
Yeah,
right.
The vibes, I guess, like they're not gonna run it back though. So at least for now.
Well, I don't think they're gonna run it back.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a no contest, I mean, unless like Martinez pushes for it, but yeah, if not, Arroyo is probably it might be a double, or if they do, it'll probably be it might be on one of Canelo's Mexican cards because Canelo still does have his promotions with Eddie on the side that does this own show. So I mean, we'll see. But then we got the main event. We got Demetrius Andrade, and we got Jason Quigley, and Jason Quigley got the loudest fucking reaction out of every fighter in the arena.
And it's kind of close to Andrade's hometown, so it's kind of fun.
It's the weirdest thing. Like Quigley, like they went crazy for that cat. Like when he started playing that Irish music and shit like that. Like and at least they didn't play Sweet Caroline. Thank God. Like and it was just like
if it was the UK, they would.
They would. No, Eddie's done it on his American guys. He's done it before. I've been to a couple of them where he's actually had that shit playing. And I was just like, why? And yeah, the Irish flags were being waved, they were lit. And then Andre comes in with a loud mix of cheers and boos. I'm just like, God damn, this is his home area too, and this is how they're actually treating him too. So Andre though, and I know most people were complaining about his boy, that did his intro. He was them Cape Verdeans. They were getting lit off that. That's the thing, But I realized when I was on the Twitter, people weren't really feeling him. But Andre though, dude came in with a chip on his shoulder. Dude is you know what? Canelo's insulting me. No one wants to fight me. When Quigley is coming on there, he's a dude from Ireland, and the people are cheering him over me. Nah, this shit is a wrap. Let me end this shit. And Andre, go ahead, Pilot.
He got him out of there quickly.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah,
like he was supposed to do.
Yeah. He didn't there wasn't no drop him in the first round and then sweet signs him for the next 11.
Yeah. I heard he broke his jaw with the first drop.
He did. Because originally I was wondering why, because at the end of the night I was wondering where Quigley went to, and they said Quigley left. I was like, why did he leave so soon? Because all the fighters were walking around, but he was the only one that wasn't. So Demetrius broke his jaw in the first round.
All I know is I think Shane Mosley Jr. would have put up a better fight.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
there was a good chance. That was his fight, actually. Really,
Mosley Jr. isn't a proved fighter, but Mosley Jr. has a tendency to take huge beatings, and he probably would have took Andre's beating.
I don't know, man. The new Shane Mosley Jr. I don't know. I think he would have gave a better.
He should have won that Quigley fight. Quigley got lucky on that one. He should have won that fight.
Yeah. But
it makes me wonder though, what are these guys getting paid to fight Andre? Because if you notice, these guys, they call out Andre fights him. Is Andre the payday for these guys? It just makes me wonder sometimes.
Well, I mean, if you watch the media scrum video, Andre he touches upon it a little bit. He's basically look, people he's they get paid. It may not be a Canelo payday, but they get paid a good amount of money. But let's say I think it's just reward to the risk. Most people were you know what? I'll let Canelo beat my ass, and probably change how I talk going forward for some M's. Saying for a whole bunch of M's. You know what I mean? So
Andre, it's I'll take $250K for Andre fight.
I think Quigley got paid. I think Quigley probably got paid a little bit more than that. Quigley got paid, but it's just not $10 million on a pay-per-view.
No, Andre is no Canelo. He can't command that. But if you're getting a title shot and you're making $300K to fight Andre, and you're a guy who probably never gonna call someone out and they'll take your shot, then you probably low key win it.
Yeah, that's a dub. I mean, he broke his jaw.
Yeah, the broken jaw is unfortunate though. But go ahead, Pilot.
I was gonna say this is crazy to me because I think Andre's entertaining. With the mic skills. He's got a good personality. Talented as hell. It just kind of sucks he's not really. He's stuck in that purgatory of not being a draw, Yeah,
it's one of those things. Because Andre, he mentioned in the scrum, he's not interested in giving up his belt to try to force a WBO mandatory from Canelo, because Canelo's not going for it. Canelo would rather drop his belt than face him.
This whole shit.
With his whole shit. Canelo basically at the time either it has to be a process of elimination for Canelo. That's which is what happened with Triple G. Triple G was a process of elimination thing, whereas Canelo could avoid him even after that 155 shit. Jacobs was there simply because he gave Triple G a hard time, and he had a belt at the time. He managed to score a belt, so he was right there, right place, right time. That type of shit. In order for I would say in order for Andre to do it, like Andre would have to. Now Andre has a couple options going forward. He has Kazakh style, who's his number, who might be his next Mando, and Kazakh is a good fight. He's just not a high profile fight.
Munguia.
Yeah, Munguia is a double Mando, meaning if Munguia goes the WBC route, he faces the winner of Durianchenko and Adames from the Tank and Cruise Club, which we'll talk about next week.
But the WBO president was like saying that he might order Munguia and Andre.
Yeah,
that's the fight of the year on paper. That would be a banger, bro.
But the thing is, though, if Munguia is going to accept it, like Andre is already done better record. Yeah, I want. It doesn't matter. Munguia, he'll face anybody. It's Munguia that's the problem in this particular place.
Well, is it Oscar or because I feel like Oscar's kind of babying Munguia when he doesn't think Munguia's ready, but to me Munguia looks like he's ready.
He's
as ready as he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oscar doesn't want to gamble with him, or Munguia just doesn't want to gamble with him. Who absolutely knows? But the WBO can do it. Like the WBO can, if they can order it, but Munguia has to accept it, and then because WBO you have 30 days to come to terms, and if not, then it's gonna go to purse bid or some shit like that if they actually do it, some shit like that. So,
in the perfect world, we get Munguia, Andre, winner fights Triple G Murata. You know what I'm saying? On the same platform, shit should be. But that's not gonna happen. But it should. It'd be great.
But it also too with Munguia. Munguia, they'll probably steer him towards obviously, I'm pretty sure Munguia probably thinks Durianchenko is probably an easier fight for him than Andre, because Durianchenko, as we all know, has taken quite a lot of beatings over the last couple years.
He's worn. He's been to the ring.
He's battle worn. He's getting to the point where he's getting. The Adames fight will probably let us know where Durianchenko is physically, because Adames is a good puncher.
That's the easier route. That's the easier route, to be honest. But to get a belt at 160 for Munguia, but
Yeah, no, but it's one of those things. Munguia at this point, 2022, he's still a young guy, but he's a former champion that has 5 or 6 title defenses underneath his belt. He has wins over former champions and top contenders. It's time. Stop the bullshit. You got to get your. You got to fight somebody. You can't be, just be fighting whoever the fuck.
Yeah. He's felt he's still his matchups are still he's an up and comer. He should be.
No more 12-round brawls with Gabriel Rosado type ass fights. You gotta cut that shit out. Seriously. So, Andre though, like I said, he did his thing. I'm just glad. The card itself was entertaining. It was very entertaining. Usually Eddie's American cards have a sense of struggle on them. Yeah. This one did not. This one.
Shit, those YouTube fights. Were you there at the beginning with the first 2 fights?
I always there from the first, because I like to
that get was that. That was dope.
Yeah, no, because usually when I go there, I like to get situated early, get my laptop there, get my camera there, vouchers for that. So I want to use the bathroom all before the first fight starts. So
I think it was the Perez fight. That was it wasn't a 4-rounder, but there was three drops in the first couple rounds.
Oh yeah, exactly. So Eddie did his thing. If anyone hates on the card and thinking it was boring, then it's just not for you. Boxing is not for you. It was just glad because New Hampshire doesn't get a lot of world title fights. In fact, the BoxRec guy on Twitter was it was the first world title fight there since 1904.
That's wild.
Shit. P, though, what did you actually think about the whole card, and especially what Andre did?
I thought it was a pretty entertaining card. What I'm saying? They were some good fights, some fuckery, and of course the The last fight was really good. I'm glad to see Andre finally step it up and step on the gas when he obviously should. None of that playing with his food. Like, if there was a time to make a statement, it was then. So he made it. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see how things go forward. So, but there should be some interesting matchups going forward.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I think another thing that was being talked about was Andre's final fight on his contract with Matchroom and Eddie. So we will see. Like, one thing,
I think he's gonna re-up.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll say thing about that situation. Like, I mean, like, I know one of the biggest things with Andre, and the reason why he doesn't get a lot of the fights he's had is because of his past. Like, he's had a lot. He's burned a lot of bridges. He burned the PBC bridge. He burned HBO bridge before they got out of the biz.
He has the management issues for sure.
Yeah, he has to manage, and Eddie's part of them in the most. Eddie's probably the most stable that Andre has actually been in his career. Like, Eddie, you know, the opponents be damned. Like, the fact that Andre's actually been has actually had a steady stream of fighting. Like, he has 5 or 6 title defenses with his belt.
Yeah, he's made good money with Matchroom, and he's outwardly said that. So I think he's gonna re-up. It's not like, unfortunately, he's not like Devin Haney where he's got the cachet to just stay a free agent and kind of just work. I think he's gotta stay with Matchroom, unfortunately, and that's sad because it is what it is, though.
Hold on. What we talking about? I had some technical difficulties, so I didn't hear.
Demetrius Andrade's contract with Matchroom's up with Eddie Hearns. He loves himself some Eddie Hearns, though.
I think he's gonna.
So his contract's up.
Yes.
Yeah. The Quigley fight was his last fight with Matchroom. From his current original deal.
Oh, he may as well re-sign because ain't no one else gonna fuck with him.
That's what I'm saying. I say he doesn't have, unfortunately, he doesn't have the cachet of a Devin Haney where he can just be a free agent and then just still work with Matchroom and has interest everywhere else. I think the interest everywhere else isn't there for Andre.
Yeah, I mean, because he either does that or he ends up like Tevin Farmer, and Tevin Farmer didn't re-up, and subsequently he lost his belt, which was probably his only biggest bargaining tool, and then
now he's busy on the gram doing other investments, housing investments, and all that.
Crypto and real estate, which is not a bad thing, but it's kind of like his career is stalled. And Andre, like I said, Andre's career right now with Matchroom is his most steady he's actually been in his whole career. Like, he's been steady.
Yeah, it's been stable. Stability is the word for that. Yeah, it's definitely been.
Yeah, stability, and he needed that stability because dude was all over the place. And Eddie provided that structure, and like I said, he might have, and like LB said, he might as well just resign with them. I mean, unless
he'll be trash over on Top Rank. He's not gonna get anything going on PBC. Like, he's stuck with Matchroom.
I mean, he's got more of a case for being blackballed than Clarissa Shields,
which is facts, which is real facts.
But that's the thing. It's like, niggas gotta stop living in the past with that shit. Like, it's to the point where all these boxers that made mistakes and then fucked up. Like, we gonna hold that to them forever?
Yeah,
we can't. I mean, we shouldn't hold it to him forever. But from what, like, the thing is with a guy like Andre, unfortunately, he's been branded as kind of difficult to deal with by these other promotional companies, so they don't want to have to
get that. See, now, if Jamal Charlo was getting into fights with Munguia, Golovkin, Eubanks, and whoever else out there that's a decent fighter at 160, then I wouldn't be saying that. It'd be like, well, Andre, you kind of made your bed, and then you got to sleep in it. But nobody's really, like, Charlo ain't really getting into no other good fight. So this whole, I don't fuck with Andre for like the last 10 years because of such and such fight that never happened. Like, you need to, like, drop that shit already. Like, it is lame. Like, I seen when.
I get it. I wasn't speaking on from the perspective of Charlo. I was speaking on the perspective of the promotional company.
No, I get it, but the thing is, Charlo, he's one of the main people who's fueling that narrative. So it does go back to him because he has a legit gripe.
And the funny thing is too,
it's like, a gripe from years ago, and it's not like you've done anything better. Like, let's be honest, like
exactly,
like Maul's track record is best at damn 154. Like, they still use highlights of the J-Rock fight when they promote him. You think anybody's going in there looking at Brandon Adams highlights?
Would you guys say Andres and Charlo's Big Charlo's resume is pretty, identical, or there's not much difference in terms of who they fought at 160?
There's a difference, but it's not a big difference.
Not a great difference, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a difference where you keep shit talking to dude like you're Canelo.
Right, and what makes it worse is you have Triple G and Murata are signed to Unify at the end of the month, at the end of next month, and Triple G is damn near gonna be 40 in about a couple months. Why is Triple G at least have the energy to actually unify? But you're out here talking about, no, I can't unify with Andrade and this, that, and the third. And Andrade and Eddie both said, there's no barrier there. We can make this fight happen. Doesn't matter what platform.
But Golovkin's team doesn't want to unify with Andre either. Loeffler even basically was on Twitter just trashing Andre, calling him a joke and all this other stuff. And they're on the zone. They on the same channel.
That's true, but Jamal had 2 divisions with this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. No, that's true.
And then then his opponents haven't been better. Like, Montiel is no better than Sermeda or he fought Derevyanchenko after Golovkin fought him. Like, come on, man. Like, I get it. Like, the thing is, it looks worse on Maul and Andre because Golovkin's already 40 years old. Jamal doesn't have a Lemieux on his resume. He doesn't have a Jacobs on his resume.
Yeah.
So Triple G gets a little more leeway, and he still looks bad because I feel like he held up the division too. But at the same time, remember, he was trying to make a fight with Munguia. It was Munguia who seemed like they didn't want that.
Yeah, they didn't want that.
And Golovkin moved different now. He's after the money, like. So I get it.
Yeah, trying to cash out his last few fights.
Yeah, so at the same time, you got Andre and Jamal. They're in their fucking prime. Like, I be seeing Charlo going live and they be clowning him on his live. He be getting pissed, like, man, y'all stop putting all these ducks up there. Like, niggas be having the duck emojis all across the screen and shit. Man, y'all put some lions up there. Oh man, I'll fuck y'all up. I'll beat your ass in real life. Like, this shit's comedy, but it's like, damn, nigga, just fight somebody.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's middleweight though. It's sad to see middleweight, which was once a very entertaining division, being what it is now. And honestly, it probably won't get shaken up until more upsets happen per se.
I mean, I feel like outside of the little buzz that it had a couple of years ago, I feel like middleweight hasn't been steadily good for a while.
Yeah,
it's too up and down.
Yeah,
because the fights ain't being made, man.
Right.
It's. I mean, in many ways, it's 147 light or 147
I
plus.
mean, those two divisions, 147, 160. The historical glory divisions. We're just not getting the fights, unifications, the big fights. You know what I mean? Like 135 even too. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get them at 140. We'll get 154, undisputed unifications, but definitely not 160 or 147.
Yeah, I mean, 160 is gonna take some time before we get an undisputed middleweight.
It's even worse than 147 because at least with 147, they keeping the gatekeepers busy.
Yeah,
and getting a Jamal James type of fight with his last fight, you got more traction. But at damn 160, you're getting Montiel versus Charlo.
Yeah, and niggas is
asking Munguia versus Rosado versus the same type of fights over and over. Like,
yeah, no.
Andre's the only person who's been really fighting people who have a little buzz. They're earning the fights.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like, come on, man. We don't. There's no tournaments or nothing going on where someone's being the clear favorite. Murata Triple G is about the only fight coming close to where it's a significant bout at 160 where we're gonna find something out.
Right. it's sad that the division's holding up. But yeah, I mean, I just hope in 2022, whatever Andre decides to do, you know, hopefully it leads to a better fight. Like I said, I mean, Kazakhstan can be a step in that right direction. Like I said, he's credible enough where like, okay, he can do something. He is legitimately dangerous. You know, and you know, which is something that's been missing for a lot of Andrade fights for a while, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so
shit, they've been missing from damn Charlo fights too.
Yeah, absolutely. Although some people might think Demetrius was a danger. You know,
fuck out of here.
That was Demetrius at one point could have been, but not after the Triple G fight. Like he'll put the effort, but the danger got beaten out of him in that one. Most people don't want to say that or admit it, but just watch.
It's the agenda shit again. That's all.
It's facts. It's facts though. Yeah, it's facts.
Every division got some agenda bullshit.
That's why Munguia's looking at Demetrius like food.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, like in like I said, you know, we'll definitely talk more about Demetrius next week because, like I said, in the way, because I do feel sorry for him because dude was a legit prospect, and then he got the shots, but the physical beatings he's got from them, like and he's old, and he's not like he's young. He's in his early 30s either. It's not like he's in his 20s.
But that's a part of boxing. He just wasn't as good enough as he thought he was.
Yeah, you know,
because he's gotten the shots. Like,
yeah.
I mean, dudes is getting on Porter for the same thing, and Porter retiring.
Yeah, but I just think Demetrius' fate might end up worse.
Yeah, because Demetrius not really doing anything else but boxing. At least Porter got all that other shit going on. He'll still end up in the Hall of Fame for commentating or something.
Right.
Yeah, some people say he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Some people say he's a Hall of Famer. I was reading that. Some people saying that.
Sean Porter? Nah,
I've heard.
Crawford.
I haven't said it. I'm just saying. I've seen people say
Porter would be a Hall of Famer in addition to his actual, like, his broadcasting career, so that type of shit. But
he definitely for that. But as we're talking about boxing career, nah. If he would have beat Crawford, then yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, Porter will probably get in because, like I said, as in, you know, yeah, being a boxer and then being, like I said, if he continues the role of being a good broadcaster, shit like that, he'll probably get in that way. Just like we said, how Paulie would get in that way. Although that might actually, we don't know. That might actually shit might be dead because, you know, dude couldn't keep his politics out.
The other Magic Man to get in before he do.
Facts.